Have you ever felt like you didn't quite fit into your own family? What if I told you that one dusty, forgotten box in my attic holds a secret that explains everything about my life? Why was I hiding the truth for so long? And what happens when everything finally comes to light? Hello, welcome. My name is Alice. I am so happy to share my story with you today. For as long as I can remember, I have felt like an outsider in my own home. My parents are loud, energetic, and love being the center of attention. I, on the other hand, am much quieter. I prefer reading books and spending time in my own thoughts. Whenever we had family gatherings, I would stand in front of my mirror and practice my introduction. Hello, my name is Alice, I would say, trying to sound more outgoing and less like a dreamer. One Saturday, while I was cleaning our attic to find some old decorations, I found something that changed my life. Hidden behind a stack of moth-eaten blankets was a small, dusty cardboard box. It looked like it had been there for 30 years. I felt a surge of curiosity. What could be inside? I opened it slowly, my heart racing with anticipation. Inside, there was no money or gold. There was just a bundle of old, handwritten letters tied with a blue ribbon and one black and white photo. I picked up the photo and gasped. The person in the picture looked exactly like me, the same eyes, the same shy smile. I started reading the letters. They were written to a woman named Alice, just like me, and they were filled with poems and quiet, deep thoughts. Suddenly, I heard footsteps. My father walked into the attic, and when he saw the open box, his face turned pale. "Alice," he said, his voice shaking, "I didn't want you to find that. I was trying to protect you from the past." I looked at him, feeling a mix of sadness and frustration. "Why did you hide this? Why did you make me feel like my personality was a problem?" My father sat down on a trunk, finally letting his guard down. He told me that my family had been very hard on my uncle for being too sensitive in the past. He explained that he had pushed me to be more outgoing because he was terrified that I would be treated the same way. I realized then that my father wasn't being mean. He was just scared. He thought he was fixing me, but he was actually hurting me. We sat in the attic for hours, talking about everything. For the first time, I felt truly understood by my dad. That evening, I didn't need to practice my introduction in the mirror anymore. I knew exactly who I was. When I walked into the room later, I simply smiled and said, "Hello, my name is Alice." And for the first time, I felt perfectly at home in my own skin. We learn from this story that honesty is the best way to heal family relationships. Sometimes, people who love us push us to change because they are afraid, but the best thing we can do is embrace who we are. If you use the vocabulary we learned today, you will become a much more confident English speaker. If you enjoyed this story and want to improve your English, please like and subscribe. We teach useful vocabulary in every video, so stick around to learn more. Before we begin, grab a notebook, pen, or pencil, anything you have nearby. Write down the vocabulary we're about to learn, and try using these words whenever you speak English in your daily life. 5 useful vocabulary words. 1. Outsider. A person who does not feel like they belong to a particular group or family. Example, at the new job, I felt like an outsider for the first few days, but everyone was very welcoming. 2. Moth-eaten, something that is very old and has been neglected for a long time. Example, I found my grandfather's old coat in the garage. It was a bit moth-eaten, but it still had a lot of history. 3. Attic, a room or space just below the roof of a house, often used for storage. Example, we need to go up to the attic this weekend to look for those winter clothes we stored away. 4. Anticipation, a feeling of excitement about something that is going to happen. Example, there was so much anticipation in the room while we waited for the surprise announcement to begin. 5. Sensitive, having a quick and deep understanding of feelings, being very aware of emotions. Example, she is very sensitive to other people's feelings, which is why she is such a great listener. Thank you for watching. See you in the next inspiring story, and let us know what do you like about this story.